Hello StarCraft fans, this is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. This is a game between StriKE and ColoUrDFiRsT on Dusk Towers. In the bottom side of Dusk Towers we have the red Terran player. It is StriKE representing Myth. He has a little trophy representing that he has won a GM level game or tournament here recently on the LOTV client, so good job for him. And at the top side of Dusk Towers, we have the blue Zerg player. It is ColoUrDFiRsT, representing ES-Hev. He also has a trophy. Man, everybody's getting a trophy these days. Trophy for you, and trophy for you. So again, this is a GM level game submitted to me at falconpaladin@gmail.com. You too can send replays to that address. I will take a look at them, and if they're great, I'll cast them. And if they're not great, I probably won't. So again, send me good ones. If it's a Master GM level game, just go ahead and put Master GM in the subject. If you have a silver bronze game you'd like to submit for consideration, go ahead and send it to me at falconpaladin@gmail.com with the subject of Into the Void. I'll get that to my screeners. Same thing goes for gold, platinum, and diamond level matches. If you have one of those you'd like to submit for consideration, send it to falconpaladin@gmail.com with the subject Mid-Rank Madness. I cast one of those every Tuesday. I guess it might be a different day of the week if you're not in America. Like Tuesday evening is probably, I don't know, like Friday in Asia, so that might be, or a Wednesday. Wednesday in Asia, I get my days of the week mixed up. So anyway, might not be the case for everybody involved. Your mileage may vary. So here we are, pretty standard openings. Looks like for both of these players, a Reaper expand for our friend StriKE. Our Terran player went for a hatch first into Extractor, into Spawning Pool, very standard stuff as well. 2 Overlords coming on out. Something we see the pros do. They never drone scout, man. They rely on these Overlords for everything, and sometimes it comes back to bite them, but you know what? They are cool anyway. So ColoUrDFiRsT, which is like a Canadian or British spelling of color. It's Colour. I don't know. Maybe this guy is not from America, which is entirely possible. I don't know where StriKE is from either, so the one thing it doesn't tell you is which ladder this is played on. It's just replays work everywhere. So the question is, what is our friend Zerg going to do here today? He is not getting speed. I guess he was waiting for maybe enough. There it is, now getting speed, waiting for enough gas to do so. Here come 4 Lings. They are ready for the not Reaper at all. StriKE not going for the Reaper expand. He has a bunch of gas, but instead he's using that to go for a darn near early factory with a 1-1-1 build. Destiny Cloudfist mixed in with this orbital command. Marine is shooing away this Overlord here. The Zerglings say, hey, where is our Reaper buddy? We always play with our Reaper buddy, especially on this map. What's going on? We will go look for him. So they head on down to see what they can see. Now the real question is, what's the next thing that ColoUrDFiRsT is going to do after this pause? Is he going to go Roach Warren? Is he going to go for a quick lair? Okay, 3rd hatchery. There it is. So it's not going to be a 2-base Roach Ravager type attack, which is what a lot of Terran players are used to seeing these days, which is I think why we see this factory here so early and a starport. And with the reactor into Hellions, again, you just want to be ready for it. The Lings are just too late to run underneath that factory and get inside the main base. That would have been huge. I mean, that would have been massive for ColoUrDFiRsT, but StriKE was ready for it, or maybe just got lucky with his timings. I don't know. So 2nd base definitely up here. It's 26 to 30 total harvesters. Zerg is macroing like a madman. And there's the Roach Warren. So definitely going for Roaches. See a lot of that in ZVT. Now, here's the thing. I think Roaches and Ravagers are good in ZVT against a bio player for about, I would say, 8 to 10 minutes. After that point, though, you better be on tier 3. You better have Broodlords, you better have Ultras, you better have Infestors, you better have something, because the upgrades for Terrans scale so strongly. Those Marines and those Marauders with a +3 attack and armor, which they can have around the 10-minute mark, will absolutely massacre your Roaches and Ravagers at such a cost-efficient rate. It's not going to work anymore. We've seen players like Scarlet try this. Really doesn't work at all. So again, yes, love your Roaches and Ravagers. Love how cost efficient they are in the early to mid game, but do not fall in love with them forever and ever. Their upgrades do not scale as well as the Terrans do. So definitely get in there, use those guys, but be working on tier 3 in the background. Don't forget to upgrade to a hive. Don't forget to get a lair. First of all, that's a good first step if you're ColoUrDFiRsT. Anyway, here comes a drop with 4 Hellions. So a Hellion drop moving on up. Does get scouted by the Overlord. Ling's ready for that, man. Lings and Queens say, you know what, you're going to drop us? No way, Jose. And trying to make it work here. No, there are Queens stabbing away. A couple shots get off, but I don't think those Hellions actually killed anything at all. And boosting away in fear is StriKE. So ColoUrDFiRsT here is getting a lair. Excellent play by the Zerg player. Creep spread looking okay. Does have some creep tumors moving on down. Terran working on more barracks, more factories. Okay, just kidding. There's a total of 1 factory. Just basically making add-ons for the barracks, not being used for much of anything else here. Hellions just, again, trying to poke on in, but there are 3 queens at the front. There are a good cadre. For some reason I want to say cadre of speedlings. I'm not sure if I'm using that word correctly, but entirely possible. Liberator makes itself known. Going to try to kill this Overlord. Again, more good at taking out clumps of mutas because single target damage isn't that much. Look at this. I guess it's kind of like mutas. A flock of mutas good, 1 muta bad. That's kind of how it works. Anyway, moving on down is the medevac. Just chilling here. Are these Hellions? They probably should be more active, but you know what? It's difficult driving these things around all day. Your gas pedal foot gets really, really tired. Hydralisk Den morphing in. Glial reconstitution being researched. Combat shield, infantry, and weapons level 1 for those buddies. Armor and weapons, did I say that? I don't know. And Carapace level 1 coming up as well for the Zerg player. So definitely, as these Hellions try to kill stuff, but man, this is so many Lings, and all the Hellions do end up falling. A single drone died in that. I'm not sure how, but that 1 drone died in that huge attack of 4 Hellions. That's gotta hurt for StriKE. Alright, StriKE, can you do this? He is throwing down a 3rd command center, a 3rd orbital command. He doesn't have much by way of defending it. What are his units looking like right now? He has a Liberator, 2 medevacs, 23 Marines. I think most of these are in this, though. So yeah, I think that Lings could probably shut this down pretty quick. But the Lings might be needed for base defense because there are 2 medevacs heading on up here. And is ColoUrDFiRsT going to be ready for this? A macro hatch is on the way. Creep spread looking kind of amazing. This is a lot of creep tumors at that front line. 24 Lings in production. Not sure if they're planning on being defensive or offensive. Nobody can see what's happening here because the Liberator cleared out those Overlords. And here we go. Defender mode circle on up. Marines dropping in. And this is going to be a huge massacre for ColoUrDFiRsT. Pulls the drones immediately. Excellent response time there, getting them out of there right away. There are some Lings, but there are no Banelings, there are no Roaches. A Lurker Den on the way, but it's not quite ready yet. The Marines are just trying to burn down this lair. Lings really can't do anything about it. This +1/+1 is doing so much damage, and the lair does end up falling. Oh no, bad news. Ravagers finally starting to clean these guys on up. Corrosive Bile is being thrown down, and getting rid of the Liberator, nicely done. But in the end, losing the lair, such a massive hit to ColoUrDFiRsT. Needs to replant that immediately, get another lair morphing in on one of these hatches that he has. He's not doing it, though. And in the meantime, StriKE has been macroing up. He has 50 workers, 3 bases, another command center on the way. Tanks, Marines, Marauders. That drop was very, very successful for our Terran friend. Again, replanting the hatchery. Is he getting another lair, though? He needs another lair. He didn't lose his spawning pool. Oh, he is. Where is it? Oh, use the macro hatch to do it. Okay, that makes sense. Right in front of my nose. Marine, marching orders to see what he can see. The answer is about 10 or 15 Zerglings that absolutely kill him immediately. This Marine has marching orders, is not going to die as quickly, but he is going to die because there are Hydras and Ravagers coming and trying to kill him. So again, ColoUrDFiRsT, excellent work here with the Roaches and the Ravagers. I like the Lurker Den as well in ZVT. We need to see more of that. Meanwhile, Marines dropping back here again. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And I guess if at first you succeed, try again. Oh my goodness, look at this stim DPS. And the cancel on that replacement hatchery. Bad news bears. Picking up, running away. Effective use of the drops. StriKE looking good with these drops, man. 2 drops. Just doing massive amounts of injury to the Zerg player. Alright, so this base is up and running, which is very, very good for the Zerg player. Meanwhile, Orbital Command is going to land over here to make a 4th for our Terran friend. Overlord spread pretty darn good seeing these drops here. A lot of Marines, a couple Marauders mixed in there as well. Is there an empty medevac in this group? There is. There's an empty medevac with 6 hit points in this group. I'm not sure if that's sacrificial or what. But there are now Banelings on the ground, a Spire on the way. And, I mean, is it a Muta, Hydra, Roach, Lurker, Baneling type play? That would be interesting. Interesting indeed. Was there another drop here? Not quite. Alright, so StriKE's heading on down. Here comes another drop into this 4th base of ColoUrDFiRsT. And he just drops on the outside. Running up that ramp's probably a bad idea. There's a lot of Hydras, Roaches, Ravagers here. And ColoUrDFiRsT says, I'm going to take the battle to you. Corrosive Bile thrown down, almost getting that medevac. Not quite able to do it. And running for his life is StriKE, saying that's not an engagement I want to be a part of. Small hit squad of Marines with +1/+1 here. Almost +2/+2. Trying to get through. A full surround, though, of Lings. Oh, the Hydras take down the medevac. All these guys are going to die. Blah, 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 blah. Not a very successful push forward by our Terran friend with his Marines there. But +3/+3 on the way. Look at this. 10 minutes. +3/+3 on the way for StriKE. Getting +2 vehicle weapons at the same time. ColoUrDFiRsT working on +1 melee attacks. And his lair is finished. That is excellent. Is he getting an infestation pit anywhere? Getting +2/+2 for his melee. Injects are not the greatest, which might be a problem for him. But he has a pretty darn big army. It's 175 to 172 total supply. A lot of Banelings. Do they have speed? No, I don't think they have speed. There it is. Now it's being researched. So 3 more Marines coming in to try to get rid of these creep tumors. They get rid of 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 4 in quick succession. Lings surround them and they die, but that was their intent. Here comes a big old battle. Lings do not want any part of that. They need Banelings. They probably need speed. Corrosive Bile being thrown down, trying to dissuade this, but StriKE pushing on in, refusing to be dissuaded. An attempted flank here, it looks like. More and more Banelings coming on. He doesn't have centrifugal hooks yet, though. I think he meant to have it, but he doesn't. That might be the mistake that kills him. Again, one little thing. Another attack from the bottom side. An attack up this ramp here as well. Lurkers, though, just tearing through these units. Wow, hurting them a lot. But the Lurkers themselves are getting killed. An attack from the left side with Roaches and Ravagers getting picked up are these tanks. And more Roaches, more Lings flooding on in here, picking up, running away, trying to pick up who there is. More Baneling crashes, and StriKE heading back on home. The survivors of that battle being, I think, a couple tanks, and that is it. Centrifugal hooks on the way. ColoUrDFiRsT held that a lot better than I thought he would. Did he lose any workers? About 11 drones have died so far. I think that was mostly back here. It's 80 to 63 workers. ColoUrDFiRsT looking strong. Looking strong. StriKE, meanwhile, is continuing with Marine Marauder production. +3/+3, about 50% complete. More medevacs, as always, healing up the survivors of that battle. And StriKE, is he going to go for Ghost production? Ghosts are good against both Broodlords and Ultras. If that's something that ColoUrDFiRsT is planning on going for, it would be good to have that unit. A 5th hatchery on the way, and there is an infestation pit morphing in here as well. It's kind of in prime location to get dropped and killed. Anything up along these edges is kind of a little bit, I want to say, vulnerable. I feel better putting it down here or down here, where a drop has to come a long way inside the Terran base to actually do much. But anyway, StriKE coming back on in. 174 to 186 total supply. Resources lost tab. 5,000 minerals, 900 gas loss for Terran. 7,000 minerals, 2,000 gas loss for Zerg. So again, very Zerg heavy composition. A lot of Lurkers died. A lot of Banelings died. There are Mutas mixed in here as well. I think, I mean, what? There are 2 Mutas in production. There are 3 on the field. A total of 5. So not the biggest Muta flock in the entire world, but could be useful, I guess, for trying to pick off these medevacs that are flying tanks around. Anyway, another drop back on here does get cleaned up. The Mutas should be able to clean that medevac unless it can boost out. And it does have a boost available, but choosing not to use it. And a full medevac does end up falling. Almost a full medevac. A single Marauder does get out of there alive. Lurkers again at this front line. So many bases for Zerg. Is this hatch going to finish? It is. 72 to 68. Harbingers indeed moving into the late game here. Infestation pit is complete. I do not see a hive coming up for ColoUrDFiRsT. Meanwhile, StriKE is continuing with his tank production, medevac production. The medevac cloud is getting pretty big. He's up to 11 total medevacs. That's a lot of healing for these Marines and Marauders with +3/+3. And I don't know what ColoUrDFiRsT is trying to do here. Trying to win this with Banelings and Mutas and Lurkers. It might work out for him, but I don't know. Roaches just getting massacred. That's a lot of tanks with +2 attack there. 60 damage rolling in there from the top side and from the right side. Banelings crashing in. Hydras, Roaches melting everything here. A full retreat from StriKE. The medevacs do survive, though, and I think that's what's important here for StriKE. Can the army continue to push in for ColoUrDFiRsT and make something happen? He's burrowing his Lurkers at the front. Can he kill this base? Possibly. He's going to try to do it. He's moving up with his Lings and his Mutas along the left side. No, instead staying on the creep and then kind of just dancing. I'm not sure what he's intending on doing there. A lot of Lurkers are being produced, and here they are. Lurkers with +3 armor. No spine attack upgrades, though. They try to come up here and deny this space, but good response from StriKE. Moving a small, medium-sized hit squad of Marauders and Marines to defend. Lurkers on the high ground burrowing. They're going to get rid of so many SCVs here unless StriKE can pull them. And yes, did lose a couple, but not that many. Missile turret ends up falling very, very quickly. Sensor tower here does check it out. Moving on in with the medevac. It's going to drop on top of these Lurkers, possibly. No, going to actually drop below them and trying to escape for their lives. Able to get out of the range and burrow back on in. The Mutas fly in here, and guess what? Tank, oh no, gets picked up at the last second. Tank Good response time there. Getting rid of that sensor tower, the Mutaflock doing what they do best, which is harassment. And trying to get out of there before the mutas show up. Trying to kill some more workers, getting rid of that turret before we can even finish completing there. And the mutas decide to get on out. But this base is established for StriKE. Looking good. Looking strong. Lurkers hanging on out here. Another base on the way for ColoUrDFiRsT. There's the hive. ColoUrDFiRsT getting the hive. Getting pathogen glands for his infestors he's planning on making here. But +3 vehicle weapons on the way for StriKE. +3. Good golly. You don't see that a whole lot. Burrow lurkers. No? Alright, another attack here. There are lurkers. Mutas flying in from the left side. Lings and Ravagers and Roaches from the right side. But these +3/+3 Marines are very strong. The lurkers are trying to burrow in at an angle where they can get stuff done. A scan gets rid of them almost immediately. Wow, StriKE won that engagement fairly convincingly. The Banelings, I think, were late to the party. And now it's 146 to 126 total supply. StriKE is in command here. He's killing Overlords. Not enough to supply block ColoUrDFiRsT, which is great news, but a lot of gas in the bank for ColoUrDFiRsT. Just very mineral starved here. Banelings trying to get some good hits, trying to crash on top of these tanks. Are there enough Banelings left for this small group of Marines? I think there might be, especially with Ravagers getting picked up, though, and boosted away. I feel like ColoUrDFiRsT would benefit a lot from getting Corruptors. Corruptors do excellent against medevacs, just making sure that medevac count doesn't get so big, because the healing they can generate and the ability to retreat wounded units also huge for Terran, keeping them alive, keeping them safe, and bringing them back for battle the next time around. ColoUrDFiRsT's hive has just finished high-sec auto-tracking on the way for StriKE, increasing the attack range of planetary fortresses and missile turrets, which is pretty good if there are a lot of mutas flying around here. StriKE healing up his Marines. What the stim? Alright, so stimming down this ramp. There's a lot of Lings, though. And again, a little bit over-stimmed of these Marines. A bunch of them end up falling, picked up, boosted out once again. Ravagers trying to make sure nothing bad can happen here. Another attack up this way. Marines taking out Creep Tumors. Liberators here to throw down Defender Mode circles as necessary. Corrosive Bile almost catching those medevacs, not quite able to do it. You can see the attack helper where they actually are on the map as Marines get back on this base, completely abandoned by ColoUrDFiRsT. He is going to lose this hatch 100% for sure, and it does end up falling. Lings dancing around, trying to see what they can see, and not much at all, as the medevac is not really committed anywhere except for here. Committing here at essentially, I think this was the 4th base. Lings running in a little bit late, boosting up, moving on out again. Another big drop here, though, inside the main base. Can he kill this hatchery for the 3rd time? He's going to go for it, definitely here. And Marines, Marauders, taking down that hatch. If they could get the hive, that'd be a massive pickup as well. Another drop back here does get cleaned up fairly ably by ColoUrDFiRsT, but the hatchery does end up falling. Oh, no. ColoUrDFiRsT losing hatcheries everywhere, losing queens. Getting rid of these evolution chambers would be a nice pickup as well, but they're going for the hive. Another drop does get cleaned up. This guy has to escape with 12 hit points on him. I guess it's her on the pilot. Lings and Ravagers and Hydras picking up and running away. Corrosive Bile's getting rid of that Liberator. No, not quite able to do it. Oh, no. Double Liberator here killing everything. One falling. This guy with 16 kills. She is a captain. Boop. And gone. Boosting in again is StriKE. Trying to see if he can kill this. There is an Ultralisk Cavern on the way from ColoUrDFiRsT, but I think it's a little bit late here. Oh no, another drop again. Yes, StriKE dropping back inside the main base. There are Lings kind of trailing in, but these +3/+3 Marines are just so strong. The tank especially with 16 kills now. Getting rid of all of the drones. This might be it for ColoUrDFiRsT. It is 196 to 70 total supply, and that's it. A GG from ColoUrDFiRsT. I've been calling him Cloud, haven't I? I have. All right, it's ColoUrDFiRsT. That's so many more syllables, though. Anyway, ColoUrDFiRsT calls the GG, is defeated, and StriKE is victorious. So pretty amazing 18-minute game there. Just, wow, amazing drops from StriKE. The damage he did up here, able to kill a total number of 2 hatcheries, a hive, and a lair. Just not something that any Zerg wants to have to deal with. 48 drones were killed, 327 Lings. In the meantime, StriKE lost 117 Marines, which is really not that many for a game this long. 49 Marauders, 12 tanks, and 8 medevacs. So pretty darn good back and forth battle. 15,700 minerals lost, 4,000 gas for the Terran player, 24,000 minerals, 7,000 gas lost for the Zerg, and I think that was really the tale of the game. Just continued harassment from StriKE. The early part of the game, I feel like he wasn't as aggressive as he should have been, but he made up for it with his double-pronged drops, dropping in here, dropping in here, dropping in here, getting all the way back up here as well, and ColoUrDFiRsT just wasn't really able to do as much as he could to defend those and do any economic damage at all to StriKE. I mean, StriKE lost 3 SCVs that entire game. So, well played by StriKE, well played by ColoUrDFiRsT, but StriKE takes the victory. So, well played by both of these guys. And that's it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter and Facebook, both at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thanks for watching, and you take care of yourself.